Hi, I'm Kristin Omdahl, and welcome back to my studio. Today, we're going to make something. Join me for the next tutorial starting right now. When joining motifs together on a one-sided join, we're going to be joining from one corner to the next. So if you want to learn how to make these motifs, make sure you watch video part 1. And all I'm going to be doing is replacing the chain 3 spaces in the corners with chain 3 joins and replacing the chain 1 spaces along the sides with chain 1 joins. So let me show you how to do that. So this corner is ready for a chain 3 space, so we're going to replace it with a chain 3 join, which is chain 1. Slip stitch to the adjacent motifs, chain 3 space, chain 1. The chain 1 slip stitch chain 1 is the equivalent of a chain 3 space and also joins to the second motif. So when I finish this corner, I'm going to set it down so you can see what that looks like. See how that is? So it's the chain 3 on this side, and it was a chain 1 slip stitch chain 1 on this side, which is also the equivalent of a chain 3 space, but joins them together. Now we're ready to do a chain 1 space before the next 3 double crochets. But instead of that chain 1, we're going to slip stitch to the chain 1 on the adjacent motif, and that will be the equivalent of our chain 1 and also join. So now we'll add that 3 double crochet. If you aren't familiar with the pattern, make sure you watch video part 1 and also download the pattern with charts and written instructions, and you can see how we've joined it now in that chain 1 space. So now I'll repeat that across the row. Every time there's a chain 1 space in the pattern, we're going to replace it with a slip stitch to the adjacent motifs chain 1 space to join them as we go. I'll set my work down again so you can see what that looks like. Looking great. Alternatively, you could always sew these together, but I do find it's a very secure way of joining things and a nice way of just doing it as you go. Less ends to weave in, more secure joins, and it's kind of fun too. Looking great. And now we've come to our next corner, and this corner is a 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet. So after we finish the first 3 double crochets of the corner, we're going to replace our chain 3 with a chain 3 join, which is chain 1, slip stitch to the adjacent motifs, chain 3 space, chain 1, and then finish our corner with 3 more double crochets. And continue on in our established pattern to finish the row. And that's how you do a one-sided join. Next, I'll show you how to do a two-sided join. With any motif that you have a square and triangles in combination in the same stitch pattern, you can always make a triangular shawl by combining the triangles, just joining them with a slip stitch in their one corner along the top edge. Join as many as you want for the entire width of your shawl, and then we will join the square motifs along the bottom of that, and I'll show you a photo of what I'm talking about. The rest of the motifs are two-sided joins with the square motifs after that. So let me show you how to do a two-sided join with the square motif. What we'll be doing is working in our established pattern. If you aren't familiar with the pattern, learn how to make the square motif in video part 1, learn how to make the triangular motif in video part 2, and now I'll show you how we modify the last round to join as we go. The motif on the final round has chain 3 spaces in the corner and chain 1 spaces along the sides, and we're going to replace those. We're going to replace the chain 3 space with the chain 3 join and replace the chain 1 spaces with the chain 1 join from this corner to this corner to this corner for a two-sided join. So in this corner, I've done my first 3 double crochets, and it's chain 3 and 3 doubles for this corner. We're replacing the chain 3 space with a chain 3 join, which is a chain 1, slip stitch in the adjacent motifs, chain 3 space and chain 1. Then we'll finish our corner with 3 double crochets. You can download the pattern to get the written instructions as well as charts for both of these motifs and see some really great photos of different mock-ups of what you can do with these motifs in combination to make different projects. Next is the chain one space. We're going to replace with a chain one join, which is slip stitch in the adjacent motif, chain one space. Then we'll work in our established pattern until we get to the next chain one space. And replace that chain one space with a chain one join or slip stitch in the adjacent motif's chain one space. You can see how we're joining as we go now. Okay, set my work down again so you can see what that looks like. Looking great. We've now come to our next corner. And our corner is normally 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet. So we'll start with the 3 doubles. Then our chain 3 will be a chain 1, slip stitch into the already joined chain 3 space, chain 1, 3 more double crochets in our corner. Okay, we'll set that down. Okay, so now we have one side joined. We've got our corner, and now we're going to continue on, and now instead of joining to this motif, we're going to join to this motif. So in the same formation, every time we come to a chain 1, we slip stitch to the adjacent motif's chain 1 space instead, which gives us the equivalent of the chain 1, but also joins it to the adjacent motif as we go. Doesn't that look great? Looking really beautiful. And you can picture now that if you added more triangles across here, every time you added the squares below, you would continue to make a beautiful triangular shawl this way. Okay, so now we've come to our last corner, and we'll work our first 3 doubles. Chain 1, slip stitch to the adjacent motif's chain 3 space, chain 1. That counts as our chain 3 join, which is the equivalent of the chain 3 space for the corner. Finish our corner. And now we'll just continue on in our established pattern to finish the round and be able to fasten off. Okay, make sure you follow the link in the video description to download the pattern with charts and written instructions for both the square motif and the triangle motif, as well as information on how to add colors to do this in a different way. By adding colors, it actually looks like a different project altogether when you add colors to it. You can combine the squares on their own or combine them with the triangles for different shapes. And make sure you watch videos part 1, 2, and 3 to learn how to make the square, the triangle, and how to join them together, a one-sided join and a two-sided join. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions at all, please feel welcome to leave them for me in the comments. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. I'll see you in the next video.